Police arrest human rights lawyer Farotimi over defamation allegations. Hello viewers and welcome to InfoGist TV. Recall that initially a federal high court sitting in Ado-Ekiti, Ekiti state capital, has granted bail to human rights activist and lawyer Dele Farotimi in a cybercrime suit instituted against him by the Inspector General of Police. Farotimi was last week arraigned before a magistrate court in Ado-Ekiti over the petition written against him by legal icon Are Afe Babalola SAN over alleged defamation in his book titled Nigeria and its Criminal Judicial System. The Inspector General of Police, however, filed a fresh suit marked FHC ADCR 104-2024 against Farotimi before the Federal High Court over a 12-count charge bordering on cybercrime. During the hearing on Monday, the presiding judge, Justice Babs Koewumi, disagreed with the prosecutor, Samson Osubu, who argued for the court not to grant bail to the defendants as moved by his counsel. Justice Koewumi, in his ruling, granted the defendants a 50 million naira bail in like sum with a surety resident in Ekiti. The court also ordered that the defendants must submit his international passport to the court and adjourned the case till January 29, 2025 for commencement of hearing. Speaking with newsmen, one of the counsels to Farotimi, Ralph Moke, commended the court for granting Farotimi bail, adding that the team would do everything possible to perfect the bail conditions towards ensuring his release. Moke, who is the managing partner at Dear Legal, revealed that the prosecuting team served the defense counsel with a fresh suit different from the one earlier filed on Friday against Farotimi. According to him, we got the hint this morning that they were bringing Dele Farotimi to the court this morning and we already in the Ado-Ekiti. We immediately rushed down to the court. They served us a new charge in court that was filed this morning, substituting the one that was filed on Friday last week. Our team moved an oral bail application and he was granted bail. He was granted a bail of 50 million naira and a surety in like sum, which must be resident in Ekiti State, with a landed property including the travel passport of the defendant should be submitted at the court. Our client has been taken to the custodian center while we are working on perfecting these conditions to get him out hopefully any moment from now. When asked about the impact of the suit as it relates to the one at the magistrate court, the lawyer said, "I don't expect the magistrate court matter to go on. This should override it because this is a higher court. Let's see what prosecution team will do, but we will be here to do our job." However, the Ekiti State Chief Magistrate Court trying the criminal defamation case against human rights lawyer and activist Dele Farotimi has adjourned the case till December 20, 2024 to hear the bail application for the defendant, just as the Chief Magistrate Abayomi Adeshun ordered his remand. This was just as the police prosecuting counsel in this case, Samson Osubu, opposed the appearance of Adinka Olumide Fasuka SAN for an ongoing trial at the Magistrate Court in Ado-Ekiti. Osubu yesterday informed the court that the SAN under the law could not take over the suit for the defendant at the Magistrate Court. He cited the recent judgment of a court of appeal in Ibadan, Oyo State, delivered on July 16, 2024, where the court ruled that SAN could not appear before the Magistrate Court. But in his submission, Olumide Fasuka said that the Ekiti State Magistrate Court law enacted by the House of Assembly allowed lawyers, irrespective of status and title, to appear in court, especially in criminal matters, as it relates to the suit against the defendant. He urged the court to reject the argument of the prosecuting lawyer, noting that the judgment he cited might not have considered all magistrate court law across the country. Responding to the matter, the Chief Magistrate said that he would step down his ruling on the matter for him to read the judgment cited by the prosecutor. He therefore ordered Olumide Fasuka to step down and allow the most senior lawyer in the defendant's team to continue the case pending his ruling on the matter. A lawyer, Taiwo Adedeji, is continuing the case on behalf of the defendant. However, the court adjourned the case till December 20, 2024 to hear the bail application for the defendant and order the remand of Farotimi. Meanwhile, coalition of 95 civil society organizations has condemned the recent arrest, detention, persecution and torture of the human rights lawyer despite being granted bail by a high court sitting in Ekiti State. The CSOs said that the manner of Farotimi's arrest was an aberration and that he should never have been subjected to the criminal justice process in this case. Besides, they said that the prohibitive terms of the bill for what is supposed to be a misdemeanor raises the real possibility that Farotimi's right to be tried by courts constituted in such a manner as to guarantee its independence and impartiality cannot be guaranteed. The civil societies, while condemning the violent nature of the police officers who arrested him, pointed out that the officers were not dressed in uniforms and could have passed an armed thug. The CSOs maintain that defamation is a civil matter and should be treated as such, saying that Section 4 of the Police Act 2020 forbids the police from wading into civil matters. They added that those contending the veracity or otherwise of the claims Farotimi made in his book or who feel he has defamed them in any of his writings or speech should seek justice in civil court, where the accused would have had to defend his claims or provide redress should he have been found to have maligned their character. The CSOs, however, called on the police to immediately drop the charges against Farotimi and immediately release him without preconditions, and also called on the Attorney General of Ekiti State to step in immediately to officially discontinue the case against him if the police do not act fast enough in doing so. They also called for the repeal of laws that support criminal defamations in Nigeria's criminal jurisprudence, and cases initiated under those laws should be struck out by the court, and also urged the Inspector General of Police to issue a force-wide order directing the police to cease effecting arrests premised on defamations. The former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, has said that Lagos lawyer and human rights activist Dele Farotimi is languishing in prison custody for persistently speaking truth to power. Atiku also stated that it's more troubling that Farotimi is being detained and persecuted under a law that does not even exist in Ekiti State, where his alleged offense was said to have been committed. The former People's Democratic Party (PDP) presidential candidate stated this in a post on his X handle on Tuesday. Dele Farotimi, a lawyer and tireless advocate for human rights, now languishing in prison custody, not for any crime but for the supposed crime of persistently speaking truth to power. His only offense lies in his unflinching commitment to exposing the truth that the government and its collaborators would rather remain hidden. More troubling still is the fact that he is detained and persecuted under the guise of a law that does not exist in Ekiti State. His plight serves as a poignant reflection of the pervasive climate of impunity and the blatant violations of citizens' rights that has become all too common in Nigeria. Yet, perhaps the most alarming of all is the weaponization of the cyberbullying law, which is being used as a tool to harass, intimidate, and silence dissenting voices in the opposition and the press. On this solemn occasion of International Human Rights Day, let us take a moment to remind our leaders at every level of government to honor the oaths they have sworn to protect and uphold the constitutionally enshrined rights of the people. Only through this commitment can we hope to nurture and strengthen our democracy. The statement comes after the human rights lawyer was sent back to jail. It was reported that the ruling on Farotimi's bail application was on Tuesday adjourned till December 20, 2024. Recall that Farotimi was arrested in Lagos State by officers of Ekiti State Police Command. His arrest followed a defamation lawsuit filed by Chief Afe Babalola, a senior advocate of Nigeria. On the other hand, obedience has threatened to hit the streets over Farotimi's arrest. Obi Atiku had voices. Obi and Atiku has condemned Farotimi's arrest and detention, calling on the police authorities to act in accordance with the law. Obedience, as supporters of the 2023 Nuruddin Shotoye, stated that Labour Party presidential flag bearer P2B are fondly called, have threatened to carry out nationwide protests over the controversial arrest and detention of the human rights lawyer and activist Dele Farotimi by the men of the Nigerian police. The aggrieved supporters under the aegis of the Obedient movement issued the threat in a statement by the movement's national coordinator Dr. Tanko Yunusa on Wednesday, December 4, 2024. The police arrested Farotimi on Monday at his Lagos home and drove him to Ekiti State, where revered lawyer and senior advocate Afe Babalola had filed a petition against him over alleged criminal libel. In his petition, Babalola accused Farotimi of tarnishing his reputation and professional standing in his recently published book, Nigeria and its Criminal Justice System, where the author implied that the non-Aguenarian compromised the Supreme Court to secure favorable judgment for his client. Subsequently, the activist was arraigned in court on Wednesday, with the police pressing a 16-count charge of defamation and cyberbullying against him. The Ekiti State Magistrate Court, presided over by Abayomi Adeosun, ordered Farotimi's remand in the Correctional Center until the adjourned date.